and keep
Jabroni.
my wife's name out your mouth. Yeah.
Off my
Welcome back to Marvel Revisited. We are here once again with my illustrious co-hosts. This is the show where we rewatch and rank every MCU movie in order. And today, Eric, what movie are we revisiting?
What movie are we revisiting? Reverse Fing Fang Phil. I've been drinking a little bit too.
Trash?
Okay, today we will be talking about Thor, the Dark World.
That is correct. Oh man, this is gonna be a good one, guys. It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be a one.
Oh man, Thor: The Dark World, released November 8th, 2013.
All right.
Director is Alan Taylor. Box
Hold on.
office.
Want to address the last episode?
Oh no, let me get through this first. All right, box office of for budget of 170 million, box office of 644.8 million worldwide. Okay, now we got through all that stuff. Now Nate has a message to convey. Thank
This message is brought to you by Wheaties.
you. Eat your Wheaties, kids.
So I recorded the last episode before I moved. You can't tell because my background still looks identical to what it always does. But I had no audio. So that podcast in its original form had all three of us, just like what you're looking at right now. But I had no audio. So it was just like a half hour of Eric and Winston doing, ha ha! I know, right? Oh my God. Like it was legit just the best thing ever. And so I cut myself out. It irks me so. And then I tried to chop it together to where it sounded like Eric and Winston were having a cohesive conversation together.
Cuts like every 3 seconds.
I know, bro. And yeah, I was supposed to put the original video on Winston's goober. But then I put Winston's goober in the washing machine. And then I put it in a bag of rice for 24 hours and it still worked. And then I realized the video was missing my channel. So then I edited it and then I sent that to Winston and then that's what you saw. That's the last episode.
What you should have done was redid the whole audio. The whole audio over. Just do
you think Nate remembers everything he said?
No, bro.
That's the great part about it. Just like talk about whatever you want, and then we're like, yeah, you got a good point.
No, that would have been even more work, man. Just try to
just put a black box over your mouth so it doesn't have to sync up.
That would have been amazing though. Like you're right, Eric, if I did that, but that's just a lot of work. And God, what was the other thing I wanted to say about that? Oh yeah, we didn't even tell Eric. So the video came out. I was like, you should really watch this one, Eric. You should watch it.
And right away, I'm just like, I'm pretty sure Nate was there for that. And I was like, maybe the video's just messed up. Let me go through it a little bit. And I'm just like, it's just me and Winnie, this whole thing. Like, he's not there at all. So
It's
that
funny.
being said, though, I played the YouTube release for Wes and his wife. And I said, what's wrong with this video? You tell me what's wrong with it. And they didn't know. They couldn't figure it out. Like they saw the cuts, obviously, but like, I don't know. I told them like I was in this video.
30 set, what is it? Like 30
It was originally the recording was like an hour and 7 minutes and then cut down. It's like 30
You talk
minutes.
so much.
I know. It's like holy crap. I didn't realize how much Nate talks. Holy crap.
Oh, I knew it was going to be ugly. But then also I sent Winston the Nateless edit And the first thing he texted me back is like, "Oh my god, we're so boring." So
We are.
just saying,
You and me, Eric, were just like,
I provide a
yeah,
service. You know, there's
that's
value here.
true.
There's value.
Nate has like 80% of the podcast. You fill in the rest, Winnie, and I'm just like
No,
2 minutes of Eric going.
No, Eric. Mathematically, it is 50% me, and then it is 30% Winston and 20% you.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Mathematically, I mean, I did the math. It's 30 minutes.
I want to bring up. There was two sections. The CGI. We were all like, "Yep, Nate just knows what he's talking about. This is all up. Whatever Nate says." And we even say that. Whatever Nate says. And
I cut that out.
That was it, dude.
It's awesome because it sounds like you're talking to yourself, Winnie. Like you're arguing with yourself. Like,
it does, bro. It's so great.
You know. Yeah, you're right.
It also sounds like Eric.
It's like me and the audience. Like, Eric, what do you think? Audience, what do you think?
There's also times where it's like you say something, and then like you're kind of thinking it through, and then I come in and say something, and then you come back and finish your thought, and I just smush them together. So it's like in the middle of your statement, it's like you just had like, okay, no, I know exactly what I'm saying now, like in the middle of the statement.
And the other one that I couldn't fix, I'm sorry,
Yeah, I told you about that one.
Was the Iron Man suits. It's just like there was nothing. So we're gonna have to. I don't even know where we ranked it. So next time we talk about Iron Man suits, which I think is in Age of Ultron, we're just gonna have to do the debate all over.
You have to trust me. I remember.
No, okay. He's like Mark III went on top.
No, Eric. No, Winston. There was another one that got jacked up too. Like it got so jacked up, I think I cut the whole thing out. Oh yeah, it was. We might as well do it right now. The ranking of the Iron Man movies within the Iron Man trilogy, like that just got completely wiped out.
Right,
like Winston, you know, I even said the ranking at the end, so Winston didn't even say the final ranking.
Mm-hmm.
So Eric, do you remember the final ranking?
Wasn't it 1, 3, 2?
It was 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, numerical order is what we decided on.
So there, first list right off the bat in the Thor podcast, Iron Man trilogy ranking. Throw it up, Winston.
Okay.
I need a drink.
Now,
you guys get started.
Oh my God, hate you, Nate.
A half hour of talking, it just makes the throat kind of dry.
We started early. He's kind of behind.
Okay. Well, as I already did the whole intro, and we've been chatting for like, that's only 8 minutes. We're fine. It's fine. Okay, Eric, how many times have you seen Thor: The Dark World, and did anything change rewatching it?
So, I think this is my third time watching it, like third and a half, maybe. You know what? I kind of liked it a little bit more than usual. I don't know if it's just like it's growing on, like the Marvel movies just growing on me with age, or it's just been like so long.
It's the context that the rest of the universe gives you.
Probably. That's probably it. I still don't think it's that strong, but I enjoyed it enough. So I was not expecting that.
Cool.
So I was like, yeah, I didn't even want to watch it. I'm just like, man, it's such a slog, and just I'll get into the other stuff later. And that, but yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Nate, how many times have you seen Thor: The Dark World, and did anything change rewatching it?
Like 2.5 times.
Okay.
Everybody's got a half.
When it came here, when it came out, I felt so bad. I was just talking as I do, as you know, as has been proven. I was watching it with Jay and his family and everybody. And I just kept like not trying to be mean. But I was like, oh yeah, you know, this movie sucks because of this. And yeah, this sucks about this movie. So he just changed it like halfway through, not even like 10 minutes through. I felt so bad. I didn't even think about it.
No,
And
you
then
did.
Kaylin told me later, and I was like, he changed it because you kept dissing that movie. It's like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. And then I
That's
watched
one
it.
of Jason's favorite movies. Did you
Is it?
know that?
Is it
I don't.
really?
I,
Okay, I
I,
hope
I
not.
don't.
I'm sorry, Jay. And then I watched it now, and honestly, it hasn't changed at all. Because I always knew that like people dunked on it more than it deserved, but I also remember thinking like this is like bleh movie, like worse than Meh. It's bleh. And yeah, I mean, I think what really stood out is just the amount of cardboard cutout characters is freaking brutal. And then the other thing is like they had the bones, bro. The bones were there and they did nothing with them. So those are kind of the two things that bothered me the most.
Yeah, for me, I think I don't think I have a half. Sorry, guys. I wish I could. Wish we could do
We can fix that. Yeah, we can
threesies.
Put
fix
it
that.
on for like 10 minutes.
And then
Yeah.
it's a half.
There you go.
I think this is my third time watching it. I watched it in theaters once, and then I saw it again with my wife because she had never seen it, and then I saw it now. So
Oh, so you've seen it 3 times, sucker.
that's what I said 3 times. Yeah,
Oh, I was listening.
I didn't care that much. So the first time I remember walking out of the theater, and I was like, "Wow, that was terrible. That was garbage," you know, and understandably, everyone started crapping on it, and I'm like, yeah, well, it wasn't terrible, but it was pretty bad. For an MCU movie, it's pretty bad. And then I watched it with my wife, and I was like, man, this isn't as bad as I remembered. And then I watched it this time, and I feel like this is why I like doing this podcast, is because of this types of movies, where I watch it and everything. I watched it years ago, and then I watched it with my wife, kind of just like, just get through the movie so that she's seen it. And then now, thinking about it and breaking it down, like how's the CGI, how are these characters, how are the performances and everything, thinking about all that while I'm watching it gave me a concrete idea for what I actually think of this movie, which is cool. I like that. Whether it's a positive thing, a negative thing, whatever, at least I have my own opinion that is solid. What is that opinion? You're going to have to find out. Let's start off with ranking the importance to the MCU. What do you guys think?
It's a tough one. So the ether, reality stone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stroking my imaginary mustache.
You sure you haven't had a few?
It kind of matters, but it also works like completely differently in this movie than in any other movie.
Yep.
Loki does some stuff here that comes up again later. Yeah.
I'm thinking pretty low.
There you go. There
Okay,
you go.
so on the low tier, I'm just gonna say the last 3. Number 5, we have Iron Man. Number 6, we have Iron Man 3, and number 7, we have the Incredible Hulk.
I think
You
it's just above the Hulk. I think that statement is going to be uttered a lot in this podcast. It's just above the Hulk. Because the Hulk also doesn't do anything
Well,
other than that after credit scene.
And
What is
introducing
Iron
the
Man?
Hulk.
What does Iron Man 3 do, though?
It just gives us so much Tony, you know? It gives us so much Tony in his mind space.
Yeah, so
In his
the
headspace?
thing that we argued about before is that it gives us the Tony Stark that we see for the rest of the MCU. Like in Iron Man 1, he's incredibly like the arrogant. He's not Iron Man yet, you know. In Iron Man 2, he still has that facade of being like, oh, I want to spend my money and, you know, do all these terrible things, but it's a facade at that point. And then Iron Man 3 is where New York has changed him and he is the Iron Man that we know and love. So that gives us the real Iron Man, plus it gives us the 10 rings that they fix later down the road. So those are the 2 big things that movie gives us.
And it also, even if it does give us basically the same amount that Thor does, it's just so much better that It's like what it gives us is just more interesting and entertaining. Just by default, it's above the nonsense we get in Thor.
Yeah, I would say the only thing really notable is Frigga's death.
I was about to say that. I'm glad you said that because that does matter.
It does matter.
And Loki's death, because that comes into play later. So, all right, we'll put it below.
Yeah, because like Frigga's death is pretty important because it really, really. That's another thing that pissed me off about this movie, bro.
Me too.
They do her dirty.
Yep.
But even worse than that, like Thor doesn't even give a crap that his mom died. Like he legit does not care. It's so frustrating. That being said, Frigga's death like sticks with Loki, like even into his show. So,
which I want to bring out since you just mentioned that little detour, but
segue.
Is this Loki the Loki from the show? Because presumably he's going to get back to that point, correct?
We don't know that, Don Winston.
We don't
know.
But if he does get back to that point, this is the Loki from the show.
No, I don't think it is.
No, it happened. No, she never died. They didn't get that far.
I know, but he was picked out from New York, and then in the TVA, he sees what happens to him and everything.
It happened and everything, but I mean, he didn't live it.
So at that point, at that intersection, there's two Lokis, essentially.
Yeah, I think they call him a variant, and he is a variant. He's a full-on variant. He's a Loki that didn't follow whatever their timeline crap is called. What's it called? What do they call it in that show?
The Sacred Timeline.
Yeah, they didn't follow the Sacred Timeline, so he's a variant. So it's a completely different one.
Okay.
And then he also takes over Asgard, which again doesn't really matter when we get to see it again.
Yeah.
So it's like, how important is that? And then they give us the ether, which is important. We know where it is. They introduce what's his face, Benicio del Toro.
Oh, the Collector.
That's a little. It's a little important. It's a sprinkle of importance.
Sure. I guess that does add to the importance, but I'm like, that's what's
all this crap is like. Yeah, but all this crap is just like barely matters. Like the most important thing is like the ether and the reality stone showing up.
Yeah.
But it's like all the crap that you see in this movie that the reality stone does, it like doesn't really do anything like that again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, since we're ripping that apart, okay, we're not even really there yet, but I have to bring this up. Like holding an Infinity Stone and being mortal.
It's weird.
They've kind of shown that it can't be done without being destroyed.
They haven't shown it yet, but in Guardians, it completely wait, what?
You're right.
Over, but it doesn't make any sense that she lives through that.
Yeah, I think the headcanon is that like it's not really like she's wielding it. It's just kind of like
inhabiting her,
like together. It's like kind of different. I don't know. And then Dose. The one we see in Guardians of the Galaxy is the Power Stone. So you would think like that is the most raw power. Like it'll jack you up.
Power.
Exactly. Whereas the Reality Stone will still kill you. Like they say that. Like she's going to die if it stays in her. But it's not going to just blow you up the way the Power Stone will. And if we think about it also, even the Tesseract, like freaking Red Skull holds on to it. Like he's wearing gloves, but like they're leather gloves. So it's like I do think different stones. Oh, and even the Soul Stone. Freaking again, he's wearing gloves, but Hawkeye holds it. So I think different stones will jack you up to different degrees.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of. But again, it's still weak, man. It's weak sauce. It's still weak sauce. So yeah.
You said the ether is the Reality Stone?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes a little more sense of why it could make the whole everything dark or whatever. Okay, anyways, back to the MCU importance.
Turn your lights off, Malekith. Jeez.
This is going to be the new number 7, right above the Incredible Hulk. Okay.
And I don't think it will ever move.
Now we're not going to rank the costume, but I do have I did actually realize that this is technically a different costume. I never thought Thor's costume changed until Thor Ragnarok, but apparently this costume, like I realized that instead of the silver accents, it's the gold. It has gold accents now.
Okay.
So subtle.
Like, yeah. Anyways.
Also, did you guys notice that his hair is like wet, like 24/7? What's up with that?
Well, let me find the marvelous fact here for a second.
You need to get like.
Did you notice my shirtless scene?
Oh my god! Holy crap!
Great,
dude. Okay, let's talk about that for a second.
Love it.
In Thor 1, I thought that
MVP.
he seemed a little slimmer than usual, right? And then in Avengers, you know, he's got there's no shirtless scene in Avengers, you know. But in this one, it's like, oh dang, he's built, you know, he's built, and he looks great.
And
but
it's crazy to think how much bigger he's getting.
yeah, oh dude, yeah,
It's sickening.
But introducing marvelous facts, Chris Hemsworth grew out his hair for over a year to have more authentic long hair rather than using a wig like he had in Thor.
It's glorious.
I mean, it looks real.
Because it is.
Real wet.
Real wet.
Ugh, God.
Maybe he has like poofy hair like I get. When it's not like wet, it just goes.
Dude, they got stylists, bro, that they pay so much money for, man.
But it's so much easier when you can just wet your hair and look like this.
Maybe you're right. You know, they did like the first 3 scenes, and it was like, all right, cut. Do another half hour of fixing his hair, and then the director's like, you know, screw this. Spray him down. Let's get rolling.
We're gonna make Thor a really sweaty guy.
Pretty much.
Greasy head.
Now let's rank the villain though.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
Well, the weakest part of this whole movie, dude.
He's not even the worst villain. It's like I said last time. He like DNF'd the villain category. Like all the other villains, at least, oh yeah, they were villain. This guy, like, why do you exist? Like, you tell me why. Like, why do you need it to be dark? Is
exactly.
it because darkness is in your race's name? Because like, that's not a good enough reason.
This is the reason that, well, since we're here already, this is the reason why this movie bothers me so much, is because the lack of character development with the villain.
Dude, it's everybody, man. It's not only him. It's like everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, the villain is super important, and I mean, Malekith. I mean, the actor did a good enough job. I feel like
he was a doctor, man. That guy was a doctor in Doctor Who. It's not the actor's fault.
Who? And I mean, the concept I found a little strange, because in the comics he has different colored, like it's like different colored face,
black and white.
Yeah, and they kind of tried to do their own
homage
with Thor electrocuting him and changing one side of his face, and I'm just like, I don't know if that like does it.
It was all right.
But anyway, no, they didn't. Like you were saying, there's no, like, why do you want it dark? Like, please elaborate on what your motives are, where this hate is coming from.
Yep.
Make us care about your motives
at all, in any way.
Yeah, because and until he gets the ether, like, he's like a nothing.
Yeah, he's like barely even there.
Yeah, like Frigga is just like,
Frigga would have killed him.
Lore with him.
Yep.
So I'm like, I feel like if you're gonna introduce this villain, he should like at least kind of be up to par with other people. And then you're like, no, he has to have the ether because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So
it's totally, I'm a bad guy because I'm bad, you know?
Yeah.
There's a few interesting facts that I want to mention here. One of them, the first one is kind of
Dude,
just
it's
like,
even worse than that. It's like I'm a bad guy because I don't. It's too bright. It's too bright out. So I'm a bad guy. This guy, bro.
a new language was created specifically for the Dark Elves. Christopher Eccleston, who's Malekith, and the guy who plays Curse had to memorize some of their dialogue in this alien script. It's like putting care into that, but not in the backstories of these.
That's what I'm
You
saying. That's
know-
what I'm saying. Go ahead, Eric.
You know what would have been? I would have loved if they took Elvish from Lord of the Rings and they brought that
I
in.
don't think they're
Because
allowed to do that.
I-
They'd have to pay for it.
the language sounded kind of like weird to me too.
I thought it was fine.
I don't know. I couldn't get behind it. So
I mean, it would have been cooler if like they were doing cool things. But it's what I'm talking about, where like the bones were there. Like the whole aesthetic of the Dark Elves, pretty good.
No,
Like the
I thought
the
ships were
foot
cool.
soldiers, the ships were
mask?
cool. The foot soldiers with the like perfectly round eyes, like that crap it could have been freaky. And I was telling Kaylin, I was like, that is scary. And it's like, and these are dark elves. Like they should have freaking double, triple, quadruple downed on the freak factor. You know? Like I was telling Kaylin, like when the dark elves go to Asgard and they start doing the thing, like they should be fighting like the aliens do in the aliens universe. Like that's how they should be fighting. Like freaking crawling through vents and always in darkness, and just like imagine. And doesn't it also fit dark elves as well? Doesn't that idea fit? And it's like the bones are there, but like the execution is just like it's like how boring and basic can we make this? That's like legitimately their strategy across the board. Because like instead of taking these dark and creepy looking characters and having them fight in dark and creepy ways, they're just walking up shooting people and getting shot, and walking up and shooting people and getting shot. And it's like, bro,
That's
please make it better.
That's honestly how I feel about this whole movie. Like the bones are
Yes,
there,
dude.
but yeah. Apparently, the director was unhappy with how the movie turned out. Although he had received full creative freedom while the movie was shot, he stated that he was locked out of the editing suite and that the studio turned it into a different movie during post-production, a situation he hoped never to repeat and doesn't wish upon anybody else. And they had extensive reshoots as well. So maybe at some point,
the
maybe
hell
the director wanted it to be something good, but it wasn't.
What the hell? Why did that happen? That is so weird. A director who's not allowed in the editing room? What the hell? That's insane. That honestly explains so much about this movie.
Yep.
Like why it's so basic.
Yep.
Because they basically did to that movie what I did to our last podcast. Like that's basically what they did to that movie.
We needed extensive reshoots.
I had the bones.
The bones were there.
Nah, like the torso was missing.
Okay.
Oh,
You're
God.
saying you're the heart of this podcast? An abandoned plot line was to have Dr. Jane Foster turn into a villain by the ether and destroy Svartalfheim as a show of her power before going to Earth. It was dropped in favor of keeping the focus on Malekith and not introducing a third villain.
Really? Because they didn't do that. The focus was not Malekith. I feel like the henchman, the big dude, was more front and center than Malekith.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He seemed more badass for sure. And also I don't know. I guess I should talk about this here. It's just like, I don't understand. I do not understand. And I'm glad they're fixing it now, or they supposedly are fixing it now with Love and Thunder. I don't know why Thor would have any attraction to this scientist that's just like, it would totally be fine for her to become the villain or even die in this movie. Like, she doesn't matter. She never has. And I'm like, when his dad's all like, hey, go with Sif. I'm like, yes, go with Sif. Like, obviously.
You like her
what
shield
are
more
you
in this one, Winston?
Yes, actually, I do like it. In the first one, it looked like a freaking toy. In this one, you're right. It's small. It's small, but it looks like it has like thickness to it. She blocks an arrow with it instead of the other one. It looks like a bad cosplay is what it looked like in the first one.
I told you those shields are historical. They're for parrying
But it
blades.
looked better in this one, at least, you know. And the last
Marvelous fact.
yes, marvelous fact I'm gonna throw into right
Last
now.
one.
No. The last one I'm going to throw in
okay.
for this conversation is
Okay.
speaking of the ether. And this one, honestly, I saw this in the facts. I think this is more of a fan theory. But Odin says their leader, Malekith, made a weapon out of that darkness. It was called the ether. Malekith later says, your universe was never meant to be. The Dark Elves universe predates, but was replaced by the MCU. And these statements imply that Malekith, possibly with other Dark Elves, created the ether and may have created all the Infinity Stones. Perhaps they saw the MCU replacing their universe and tried, like Thanos, to destroy it. No one else in the MCU ever mentions this, which is no surprise. No one outside Asgard ever had contact with the Dark Elves, and no one would have any reason to know the true origins of the Infinity Stones. That's a lot of headcanon, but I don't know. What do you
I
guys think
can
of
maybe buy them creating the ether. But if they created all of the stones, then why the balls do they only give a crap about the ether?
Yep.
But also, I don't know about like them having their own universe and then getting replaced by the MCU. In my mind, it's like, oh, they're just super old and crappy. And then Asgard stopped them. That's just what happens.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
he
know.
sucks. He sucks a lot.
I think
The fight's boring.
Yeah.
He sucks.
I think if anything, probably the Celestials created the Infinity Stones or something like that. You know, there's much grandiose power here at work instead of just like, oh, the Dark Elves. You know, those people who sucked. Yeah, they made the Infinity Stones. So.
The goth people.
I feel like that was definitely more of a fan theory, but I still wanted to shout it out. Anyways, MCU villain. Where does this guy rank? Where does Malekith rank?
At the bottom.
The very
At the
bottom.
bottom.
Under Aldrich Killian.
This
Way
guy
under.
didn't even earn it. He just didn't show up.
You don't think he's under Aldrich Killian?
With the ether?
We're not talking about power, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I liked him better than Aldrich.
Okay, I mean, I'll give you that. You can have your opinion.
But I think that's why you're here, right? You can
But
have
like,
an opinion.
he was so lame, bro. Like, at least Aldrich had a personality.
Yeah.
It was a crap one, but it was there.
And
And like, his tattoos looked cool. Like, this guy doesn't even have that.
You don't know.
I think Aldrich Killian was poor execution. And, you know, honestly, as I said last time, they should have went with a different character altogether.
Oh, yeah. I also wanted to say that character, Zeke, was like 4 years old when that movie came out. So there's like a very real possibility, like, in that podcast, you say that Zeke is introduced in like 2008 in the comics.
Yes.
And that movie came out in like 2013.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's a lot of marbles to put on a character that's 4 years old.
He would have been a better choice either way.
I mean, honestly.
But the thing that I say defending Aldrich a little bit is that compared to Malekith is just like tattoos. Malekith is just like, yeah, I'm bad because I'm bad and I want to turn the world dark. Yeah, why? No one knows. Am I cool? No. Do I have power? No. Like, why am I the leader here? We have no idea. No one knows. It's like everything about him sucked. And Aldrich, like, at least kind of the acting was good. You know?
He had the tattoos, bro. It's like
And
Winston
he
said.
tried to be intimidating. It's like he doesn't even
man.
try, dude.
Aldrich Killian was terrible execution. Malekith didn't show up. Like no
Exactly.
execution.
There's
I'm
no
telling you.
execution.
It just didn't happen, man.
And
It's like they forgot the villain. It's like they just made a bunch of action scenes and it's like, oh yeah, there's supposed to be a bad guy. Him. That guy, he did it. That's literally all the thought.
I'm
They
out
didn't even
voted.
ask why. They didn't
I'm
even ask
outvoted.
why he did it. He just
I'm outvoted.
did it.
Yeah. Either way, he's going to the bottom. Sorry, Eric.
He's so bad, bro. It's like, what's to say? He doesn't look cool, and even their final fight, bro, is not that cool. All the cool parts in that final fight are freaking Thor. It's not Malekith.
Yep. And speaking
He gets freaking dunked on by Frigga, bro. He sucks, man.
yeah.
What?
Let's talk about the CGI.
It was good.
Yeah, that pan through Asgard.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I think there
the
was
freaking rock monster, freaking Korg's cousin.
actually,
Oh,
Korg's daddy?
the stone creature Thor fights in is a Cronin, an alien being that appeared in Thor's first comic, Journey into Mystery number 83. And the prevailing fan theory is that this is Korg's dad, thus leading to Korg's mom finding a boyfriend whom Korg hates.
Called it. Is it better than Iron Man 3?
Where did we rank CGI?
I don't think it is. Did you not make a list, Winston?
I did make the edited in the other one. I don't remember where it went to, dude.
Give me the list, and I will rank
Okay.
Iron Man 3 and Thor. The Dark World.
It's Avengers, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, Incredible Hulk.
Okay. It goes Avengers, Iron Man 3,
Love Iron Man 2, okay.
Iron Man 2, and then Thor the Dark World.
Above Thor.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
definitely better than Thor. It's
Okay.
But like
Yeah,
the
for sure.
suits just look so good in the Iron Man films, and nothing in this film looks that good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm totally okay with that. That's where it's ranking. Right, Eric?
I agree.
Okay. Okay.
Somebody just screamed hate in the background of your home.
Hate. Anger. All right, guys. It's that time again. Let's rank. Or not rank. Let's guess the Rotten Tomato score.
It's the prices. I mean, the Rotten Tomato score is right.
Ooh.
What do you guys think? Slans.
69.
69.
I'm gonna say a straight 7.
70. Okay. I'm gonna go 65.
Ooh.
I
Still
finally
haven't
didn't look
seen
it up.
Yeah. It is
Oh,
66.
nice. I was off by 3. Winston off by 1. Yeah, it's terrible. This might be the worst. How badly was the Hulk movie rated? Because I think it was rated better than this, which is stupid. But
Let's see. The Incredible Hulk was 67.
oh,
1% above it.
yeah, it's not true.
It's not true.
That's not true.
That's impossible.
Impossible. Yeah. Well, what do you guys
Star
think of the
Wars.
soundtrack?
It wasn't bad. It was better than the Thor one.
I heard-
I still don't remember anything.
I don't remember anything about the soundtrack.
Oh. Not even at
But
the end credits.
I do remember thinking at one point though, like, this sounds better than the Thor one. So it's above the Thor.
It's above
Yes.
Thor.
So wherever Thor is at.
Thor is at number 6, just above the Incredible Hulk. Captain America is above Thor right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not better than Captain America.
I agree. Sure. Yeah. I just don't
It's
remember anything.
not as patriotic. Yeah, you're right. So
I can feel
speak the true truth.
America in my veins.
Patriotic for Asgardians, maybe.
Okay, so that's where it's gonna be. It's the new number 6, Thor and Hulk underneath it. Man, this next one. I was thinking about this while I was watching it. What action sequence are we even gonna rank?
I was thinking about that. I have no idea.
Like all these suck. Like
The last one is really bad. The Asgard fight. There's the fight in the beginning. There's
honestly,
like the teeny tiny fight on the Dark World.
sure. I think the best action sequence in this whole movie is Heimdall going and taking down that ship. I think that was the coolest part.
I don't know. Loki taking on those dark elves by himself was pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
Sexy, bro, was good.
and that was on Sniffleheim or whatever the heck it's called. I'm sorry.
Sniffleheim. Where everyone has the sniffles. A lot of pollen in the air for a dead planet.
Can we just go Sniffleheim?
How about we just not pick one and say it's at the bottom?
What is something going under the Incredible Hulk?
I don't know, bro. The fact that we can't even think of like a goddamn fight,
Yep,
I think gives Hulk the Abomination the win.
I agree. I think whatever we choose goes
And
under.
I think this is where what you said about the editing being all jacked up for this movie, I think this is freaking why.
Yeah. Okay. So
Again, it DNF'd. The action sequence DNF'd this race.
all right. So now it's the new number 29, 20, however MCU movies there are. It's at the bottom, in other words. And Incredible
All
Hulk
right,
is just...
hold up. Is it really that bad?
Dude, at least in
Nah,
Hulk
it's
versus
worse.
Abominations, like,
We get
all
the
right,
clap, we get the
there's
whip.
some, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
that seemed brutal, at
The
least.
Hulk gets stabbed by an elbow, I think. It's
Yeah,
great.
he does. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. You blew it, Dark World.
Not the first time, not the last. But Tom Hiddleston performance. What about that,
Dude,
though?
solid. It's
Yeah.
not. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's up there with Avengers. It's up there.
I don't think it's quite as good as Avengers, but
Yeah.
he's still, yeah.
It's right there. It's right there. I think it's right under Avengers. It's good.
Yeah.
I disagree again, but I think this is better. I think is the number one because again, this is the apparently I just like the Loki that is more when he can
Conflicted.
yes, when he's more conflicted because in this one, yes, he's like obviously the death of his mother does affect him and he doesn't want to admit it and he doesn't want to show it, but it does. And it gives him motive. And it shows that, deep down, he has some good in him, even if he doesn't want to admit it. And that's what I like about Loki is he's, a bad guy who has good in him, but he thinks that he can't even do that. So I'm like, that's the Loki that I like a little more. But and then
His exchange with Odin in the beginning was pretty good too.
Yep.
Yeah, you can tell in this movie that like Tom Hiddleston knows that like he's Loki and Loki's the bee's knees.
Do you
like,
remember?
You can just see it in his performance.
Speaking of which, I completely forgot about this until you said it.
Remember?
It was when this movie was coming out. I'm pretty sure is when he went on stage at a Comic-Con and just appeared. Like it wasn't planned or anything, and he got in front of a whole bunch of fans, and he was like doing like this thing and everything.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember exactly. The
He
clip
did,
is
like,
going to be right here.
All right, you freaking ruined that. He showed up in Comic-Con as Loki, dressed up as Loki,
Yes.
and was like giving a freaking Hitler speech over everybody. It was great.
And they all like started chanting, and then he said, "Shh," and then they all.
It's so good, dude.
Dude, it was awesome.
We're in post-production of a movie called Thor: The Dark World right now, which is
humanity. Look how far you've fallen. Lining up in the sweltering heat for hours. Huddling together in the dark. Like beasts. I am Loki of Asgard, and I am burdened with glorious purpose. Stand back, you mewling quim.
Like that
he knew
the
knows
best.
what's up.
That was the best thing I have.
I
seen
don't know because
out of the MCU. Like at that
because
point,
like
that was amazing
he has so many. He's the best part of this film,
for sure.
hands down. He doesn't carry it, unfortunately, but he's
He's
still
not in
every
enough of
time. Every time he's on scene, it's a good, on camera, it's a good scene. It's enjoyable. You have his little freaking jaunt with Thor where he's being Captain America. It's great. But I don't think he has any one scene that has the power of like his final confrontation with Thor in Avengers. You know what I mean? Where it's like he has that. It's so subtle yet powerful. In Avengers on a Stark Tower, where he's like talking to Thor and he stabs him and he's like, "I'm not going to be good. I'm going to be bad." And because I don't think he has any one scene in this film that's that good. Well, I don't know, because then when he fake dies, that was pretty good. It's really close, man.
You guys already said it. It's fine.
No, I'm still thinking about it. Because here's another thing. He's great in Avengers, but he's just the bad guy. He's just bad. And like Winston said, in this one, we get to see the bad guy. We get to see the trickster. He's also like fully embracing the trickster role in this film as well, which is his character.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's also got the good stuff.
Apparently, I didn't put it in the facts, but apparently there was, I think it was the director's daughter or something like that went for a talent show and she played Loki, and Tom Hiddleston actually sent her a video of like the little tips that she could do and everything. And the one that really stuck with her was that at no point, all the time Loki is having fun, all the time, and that's what to help bring Loki out when she's acting him. Which is cool. That's interesting. Another one that I'm going to talk about right here is Loki was originally not going to appear at all. And there was going to be a much greater focus on Malekith and the Dark Elves. Following his popularity in the Avengers, the script was rewritten to give him a bigger role.
It was literally like, what can we do to not talk about Malekith? All right, we can talk more about Jane. We can talk more about Loki. All right, I need more ideas. I do not want to talk about Malekith in this film, okay? Oh my god. I think it's below Avengers. I think it might be a screen time thing.
Okay, that I can agree with. Yeah,
he also had that great conversation with Black Widow as well in Avengers.
It's true.
So I think Avengers just takes it.
Okay, so this goes in the new number 2.
I'm so glad we did this list, bro, because Loki and Tom Hiddleston deserve it. Like, he's so great. It's great.
Another marvelous fact. I'm going to. What is that? That doesn't even look like a heart.
Shut up. Potato. It's a potato. It's the potato Eric was talking into.
The scene where Dr. Jane Farster.
Winston. Oh my god. Dr. Jane Farster. PH.
Oh, I'm sorry. when Jane Foster is slapping Thor, that had to be shot several times because Natalie Portman kept fake slapping Chris Hemsworth to avoid hurting him.
I've had that problem.
After about 30 takes, she was slapping him for real. Later on, when Jane Foster first
He takes it like a boss too.
Yeah,
it's so
he does,
great. Dude. He's like, oh, like nothing.
And when she first meets Loki and punches him, Portman, sorry, actually
Dude, Lisa just wants to
hit.
inject R's into everything that has to do. Jarn Fartster. Gnarly Portman.
Gnarly.
Oh man, she actually did hit Tom Hiddleston. This time around, it only took her 5 takes to get that on point.
Bro,
So,
I don't think she gave a crap about this movie, bro.
No.
Like,
And honestly,
I'm surprised to hear that she had that many takes because I totally get the vibe where it's like, whip this out. Just gonna do my scene and I'm out of here.
yeah. And like honestly, it's noticed in this movie, and also it's noticed through the rest of the MCU because I think for a long time she was just like, "No, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back." And then finally they
Just
convinced
so you
her
guys
for the
know,
new one.
like, Love and Thunder is directed by Taika Waititi, starring Thor and Natalie Portman Thor, and the villain is Christian Bale
That's right.
as Boar the God Killer. Like, you guys should check out that comic. That movie is going to be freaking awesome.
We'll see.
I'm telling you right now, it's going to be way better than everybody's expecting.
Wait, isn't Boar?
It's not Boar, it's Gore. It's
Okay, I
Gore,
was like-
the God Killer.
Gore.
Gore is his grandfather.
Yeah, I was like, what? That does.
Also,
He is pissed.
Somebody go get him a NyQuil.
also, at this point in time, which this could change tomorrow, we don't know. We are the longest
Running
we've been.
podcast in the world.
We're at the longest we've been, or I guess shortest time. However you want to say it.
Without a good movie.
That from release date to trailer that we've ever been on an MCU movie. So we still haven't seen a trailer for Love and Thunder, and that movie is coming out in June, July, something like that.
2 weeks.
It's coming out.
Is it really?
Yeah, dude. And
Maybe they're gonna push it back.
maybe that could totally be possible. But like the last one that held that record was No Way Home, and we're already like weeks past that one. So
Cool. Dude, it's gonna slap so hard, bro.
We'll see.
Calling it right now.
We're gonna see. We'll see.
It's gonna be so good, dude. Thor might die. It's gonna be great.
Oh, I hope
They
so.
They're gonna kill him. We're gonna
I
get
hope he don't
the Porterman.
die.
I don't want them to either. But if they do it well, I'm gonna be hyped.
No. It's gonna be Tony all over again for me.
I know. No, they shouldn't kill him. I'm okay with him living forever. But if they do it, it's good. It's gonna be great.
After
What were we
credits.
ranking?
After credits. Now,
After credits. God damn it! I watched it and I forgot.
Collector.
there's 2. One is The Collector.
And one is him kissing Jane Porterman.
Yes, which I don't think I ever saw the second end credits.
It's also not Jane
But-
Jane Foster. It's his wife. Freaking Nate coming in with a marvelous fact. That was reshot later for whatever reason. Probably because they realized that why the hell does Thor love Jane Porterman? Nobody knows why.
Jane Porterman.
So they had Chris Hemsworth show up. Natalie Portman was like, I'm not coming back. Screw that crap. So then they lined up like 10 ladies that were all Natalie Portman's height.
Yeah,
And,
and he said he wanted to. Just
he
kiss
was
his
like,
wife.
I don't want to pick them like cattle. My wife's like down the street and she's like the same height. Can we just throw a wig on her and I can kiss my wife? And that's what happened.
I do remember that now, yeah. And also, it solved like the huge issue for me. After that monster came from Niflheim, I was like, "Is it
Nilfheim?
No, it's Niflheim."
Maybe you're right. It should be Nilfheim.
It's Sniffelheim.
I was like, are they just gonna like let this beast roam free? Like nobody caught him or anything? Apparently so.
Bro, he's taking care of the London pigeon problem. All right, he's providing a service. They call him Greg. Okay.
And the London bum problem.
Oh God.
He's moved on to bums. No longer pigeons.
He got a promotion.
All right, I'm gonna tell you the list as of now. The MCU after credits list. Number 1, Avengers. Number 2, Thor. Number 3, Incredible Hulk.
What was Thor again?
Thor was.
You got to write this down in the list, bro.
Yeah, I do. I do have to write this down. What was Thor's? Do you remember, Eric? Oh my God.
Is it is it Hawkeye and Samuel Jackson and Dr. Selvig and Loki?
Yes. And then he walks into the room, and it's like obvious that Loki's controlling Dr. Selvig.
Is that better? I think it's right. What's the one after Thor?
Incredible Hulk. Tony walking into the bar.
And saying ouch.
And what's the one after that one?
Iron Man.
All right, it's better than Iron Man.
Definitely better. I think it's better than Incredible Hulk. Because we get to see the
Tony
Collector.
Tony showing up? Yeah, but dude, Tony showing up is way more important than the freaking Collector.
Okay.
I think.
What do you think, Eric?
I think it's under the Hulk.
I don't know, because them talk about how it's an infinity stone. And then you get that little, like...
Yeah, I mean...
1 down, 5 to go.
Yeah, from who? Who says that? Oh, he does. The Collector.
Does, which doesn't make any sense. Like, he has his own plans for the stones that they...
I mean, I could see it going over Tony. But it's, like, right there.
I like Tony too much. I'm with Nate.
Okay.
Yeah, I
right.
think it's under that.
Yeah.
But
So
that one, Tony and Loki, Samuel Jackson, the Thor end credits, they're like all in the same tier, in my opinion.
So it's going to be the new number 4, right under the Incredible Hulk.
Dun dun dun.
Let me spit you these facts real quick, bro. Chris Hemsworth improvised hanging Mjolnir on the coat
Nice.
hook
I feel so
in a polite
bad.
manner after playing it
Yeah.
with it between takes. Sorry.
I feel so bad for Chris Hemsworth because his Thor sucks in this movie. He's like so cardboard cutout, like even worse than the first one. Ugh, it's just like I feel like he just wants to do something interesting, something fun, and it's like nope, just say this and stand there. Just say this and punch that. It's like so lame.
That's why we got Ragnarok.
Yep.
The director wanted, I'm not even going to try to say her name, wanted Asgard in this movie.
And it's Branagh?
No, it's Alan Taylor.
The director?
That's what it says on here, but that's not the right director anyways. Whatever. It says the director wanted Asgard in this movie to have a more natural look. The first Thor was quite shiny, and it was a very conscious, smart choice. I wanted to get more of a sense of the Viking quality, the texture and weight of history. They've been around for thousands of years. To achieve this, the crew filmed on the coast of Norway for 3 days, capturing 6 hours of footage. Asgardian structures were then embedded over this footage, which, I think Asgard looks way better.
Yeah, because like there's like no greenery or foliage or anything in the first one, and in this one it's like in almost every scene in Asgard there's some kind of like vegetation.
Yep,
looks way better, and they keep that for the next Thor movie as well.
Yep. And the last one I have here is at only 1 hour and 52 minutes. This is the shortest Marvel movie to date. It is tied with The Incredible.
And I think that's part of the problem.
I don't think so.
I do, because just think of they could we're saying they had the bones, they didn't build it up. I mean, maybe they needed more time to add more things.
I don't know, but
Like,
it's like the time that they did have, they didn't do anything with it. You know, like they didn't use their time to build character at all, other than with
no,
Loki.
but just that's what I'm saying. Like, just think of what another 20 minutes could have given us on character building.
This movie is so bad that I feel like they wouldn't have done that.
They probably
Just would have filled it up with more running around and lame fighting.
Right.
We are
Yeah.
running, yeah. We like the running.
What I'm saying is like I don't think an extra 20 minutes would have fixed this movie. I think like a comprehensive, not even, I guess, yeah, just reshoot, just like completely different mentality was needed for this film.
It is time, gentlemen. Where would we rank Thor: The Dark World in the MCU? Currently, the list is number 1, Avengers, number 2, Iron Man, number 3, Captain America, number 4, Iron Man 2, number 5, Iron Man 3, number 6, Thor, and way down to the bottom is the Incredible Hulk.
And
Where?
right before it is Thor: The Dark World.
I say that as well.
Of course, yes. A lot of people always say Thor: The Dark World is the worst MCU movie.
It's not.
I don't think they've gone back and watched The Incredible Hulk, because that's the thing that I was like,
Oh, shout out! This is the first movie without the dumb Paramount Mountain.
oh yeah,
At the
that's true,
beginning.
yeah. Where, like we have said through this whole podcast, this movie has the bones of something good. Like, they had the foundation. You know, Thor was already set up as a good character, well, decent character. There's Loki in it. There's Odin in it, who is like this amazing actor. There should have been weight because his mom died. There's all these things that could have been something, where I feel like the Incredible Hulk didn't have bones. It was just a blob of jelly there, you know. It was nasty and gross. So I'm like,
Just dumb.
You grow.
yeah. So like there is no competition here. It definitely is above
So like,
Thor: The Dark
what's
World,
the-
but nothing else.
what's the point of this movie? You know, like Iron Man 3 was like, you know, fight your demons. You know, overcome. They didn't do it great, but at least it had a point.
Yep.
What's the point of this film?
The point
the
is
theme?
introduce a Infinity Stone.
Dark is bad. It's like what is Thor learning? You know,
I think it's mostly Loki learning in this movie.
yeah. It's like there's just no point. There's no overarching theme, and it's
Yep.
like a soulless movie like that is never gonna do good.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right, because right where we see him at the beginning of this movie is right where Thor is at the end of the movie. It's just like, yeah,
Sans
nothing.
mom.
That is mom. Yeah. But also, do you guys remember how they turned the Infinity Stone into like a solid stone? I don't remember that.
They
Was
don't.
Was it
It's
Thanos?
Thanos does it off camera. It's in the little box,
Uh-huh.
and then Thanos just goes to the collector, and when you see it,
It's already in.
Thanos
Oh.
already has it, and it's already in the gauntlet.
Yeah, I think it's because like that didn't really make sense either. That they're like,
They did
We don't-
do one thing that was interesting when Malekith has it. Or no, not Malekith has it. Malekith is about to have it, and Thor goes to shock it to destroy it.
oh, it turns
It
into
like turns into a
shards.
bunch of crystals.
Yeah.
So I think that might be your like, if you just put enough energy into it, it'll turn into a stone.
Sure.
You gotta
Let's go with
forge it.
that.
Also, it kind of has a mind of its own, which is weird. His freaking movies all over the place, man.
Yeah. Well, that was us revisiting Thor: The Dark World. What did you think of it? Please leave a comment below. But Eric, what is the next MC movie?
MC movie,
You
you
still messed it up.
What is
Eric,
the best
Please.
Say
Winston,
it.
shut up.
Just say
Shut
it.
up. Oh, Winston. Eric. Would you please introduce the next film in this illustrious MCU universe?
You see how he enunciates?
Yes, I know.
And how he
Sorry.
said "you" and then "universe," even though they mean the same thing.
The next movie we'll be talking about is Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Let's go. Let's go. I cannot wait to see this movie again.
Hype. It's gonna be hype.
Yeah.
Hype. It's gonna be.
I
It's
cannot
gonna
wait.
be. Hype. Hype.
But definitely tune in for that one. It's gonna be real good. It's gonna
Oh
be real
man,
good.
it's gonna be like hour and a half of just me being like, "This movie's great."
The
You see
action
that?
sequence.
That-
Oh,
the
did you see him
best
flip the knife? Oh my
Did you
god!
see that part? That part was so good. Did you see the other? It was just so great. Oh my god, Chris Evans, I love you.
Okay.
Will you go with me to prom?
Well, thanks for joining us again, and have a marvelous day, and stay frosty.
Bring back food!